12 and 0. The Eagles are now 12 and 0 against the New York Jets. Listen, I don't care how bad the Jets are. Do you know how hard it is to play 12 games and win all 12 of those games against the same team? Do you know how hard that is? That's hard to do against any team, no matter how bad they are. I don't care if you're playing the 1990 Patriots that went 1-15 or the 2017 Cleveland Browns that went 0-16. That's hard to do, even against a team like the Jets. In 48 years since the teams first met in 1973, the Eagles have never lost to the New York Jets. In 48 years. That is a 48-year-long undefeated streak. That's impressive. That's impressive, and I don't care what anybody says. The Jets cannot beat the Eagles. So this game, it was pissing me off early because once again, I'm sitting here on my couch watching this game complaining about the pass rush. Early on, the pass rush, they weren't doing enough. They weren't doing enough. Zach Wilson, he was slinging the ball on us. We were getting gashed by the run. We haven't really been that good against the run all year. And I think the Jets scored on their first 3 drives. It was looking bad. It was looking very bad. However, they did miss the extra points on their first 2 extra point attempts, which was very good for us. And our offense was flying high today. Our offense really recovered from that sluggish performance last week, also here at the Meadowlands against the New York Giants. The offense looked very good today under Gardner Minshew. Let's keep it real. Gardner Minshew played a very good game today. He played a very good game today. He made a lot of big throws. And there was this one throw. It was on a 3rd down. He went to Quez Watkins. He went to Quez Watkins for a huge gain. I swear, we targeted Quez Watkins more times today than in any other game. You really got to throw at Quez Watkins more. I get it. Devontae Smith is a stud. We all know how good Devontae Smith is, but don't forget about Quez Watkins. This guy, he is a speedster. He will burn you. This guy, he will scorch you. He will leave you in the dust. Like, you got to give Quez Watkins more targets. I saw that today. I'm very happy about it. And Dallas freaking Goedert. 2 touchdowns today. He had over 100 yards. I can't remember what his exact yardage was, but I knew it was over 100. This set a new career yard tie in a game for Dallas Goedert, his highest yards in a game. Last year, he had 101 yards against Washington in week 1 when we went up 17-0 and lost. So this game, it was more than 100, but it set a record. It was his highest yardage in a game. Dallas Goedert, he looked very good today. 2 touchdowns, really big gains on screen plays. This is the Dallas Goedert that we extended. This is Dallas Goedert proving his worth after we extended him. Dallas Goedert, I vouched for us to give him an extension because after you trade Zach Ertz, that's obviously meaning that Goedert is going to be the future. So for Goedert to step up like this, it's really good for us heading forward, knowing that we made the right move paying Dallas Goedert. It stinks that we let Zach Ertz go. He seems to be thriving in Arizona. He finally knows how it feels to beat the Seahawks. But I'm really proud of Dallas Goedert today. And Minshew, he was really good. He was really good today. And this may be controversial, but I'm going to say it. Gardner Minshew, he throws the ball better than Jalen Hurts. He does. I'll say it. Now, that might not make a lot of people happy, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Gardner Minshew, he's more consistent, and I think he's a better passer than Jalen Hurts. I do think Jalen Hurts is the better overall athlete. I think Hurts is the better scrambler. That's not to say that Minshew can't scramble either. Minshew, he scrambled for a big first down earlier in this game. I think it was like in the first half. So Minshew, even though I think his scrambling ability isn't as good as Hurts, he can still do it pretty well in his own right. And because we're the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what this means. We all know what this means. There's going to be a quarterback controversy. For the next 2 weeks, you're going to hear about this quarterback controversy. Should we start Jalen Hurts? Should we start Gardner Minshew? Nick Sirianni has already signaled that we're going to start Jalen Hurts this next game against Washington. But it feels really good to head into the bye week with a win. And oh my God, this bye week could not have come at a better time. This bye week, it is perfect timing for this bye week. So Jalen Hurts, he didn't play in this game, ankle injury. Jordan Howard, he was also out in this game with an injury. Miles Sanders, who finally had a 100-yard rushing game today, finally hit 100 yards rushing in a game, he gets hurt again. again. Miles Sanders is like, this guy cannot catch a break. He got hurt against the Las Vegas Raiders on the first drive of the game when we were really doing well running the ball. He missed 3 games after that, and now he gets hurt again. He gets hurt again with an ankle injury. That is unbelievable. You really got to question. I like Sanders, but his durability is a serious concern. It's a big concern because ever since his rookie year in 2019, he's missed some time to injuries every year. 2019, he was injured for a little bit. 2020, he was injured. And now he gets injured this year. It's a serious concern. A lot of people don't like Sanders because he fumbles the ball a lot and he's really unprotective of the ball. He tends to turn over the ball, but his durability is kind of giving these people ammo. I like Sanders, but the guy cannot stay healthy. In addition to that, Jason Kelce got injured near the end of this game, which I hate seeing Kelce injured. You cannot lose Jason Kelce. That's as big of a loss as you could get for the Philadelphia Eagles. This guy, he leads the NFL in snaps played since 2016. He's tough. Kelce's tough. He got hurt last week against the Giants, but he came back into that game. Nate Herbig comes in again. He mishandles a snap again. I am so sick of seeing Nate Herbig as center. I just don't like seeing Herbig as center. This guy, he's always mishandling the snap. He's always, and this goes back to preseason. Last year, it was against the Patriots when we got shut out in that game. He mishandled a snap. The Patriots recovered, and that set them up for a touchdown, and they eventually won that game 35-0. Now, it was a preseason game. The loss didn't matter, but it's like Nate Herbig, the guy, he just can't snap the ball. Last week, he had a few bad snaps when he came in for Kelce. I just don't like Nate Herbig. I don't like Nate Herbig, man. So the fact that we get a bye week with all these players injured, it's really good. It's really good for us. Now, when this schedule first came out in May, I wasn't a fan of having that bye week so late, week 14. That's like the latest bye week you could have. I wasn't a fan of this bye week at first, but with these injuries, the players like Jalen Hurts, Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, Jason Kelce, Steven Nelson got injured too. This bye week is a huge momentum booster. You get the time to have these players get healthy. This bye week is becoming a really good thing for us. Now, there is a bad part about this bye week because we're not playing. That gives these other teams in the wild card hunt a time. Like, this gives the other teams we're competing against for a wild card extra time to get ahead of us. Teams like the Vikings, the 49ers, Washington. Speaking of Washington, okay, so after beating the Jets today, the Eagles became the 7th seed because the Vikings lost to the Detroit Lions on a last-second touchdown. The Minnesota Vikings, they fell to the winless 0-10-1 Detroit Lions. So with our win against the Jets and that Vikings loss to the Detroit Lions, we became the number 7 seed. However, unfortunately, Washington just beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. So now Washington is the number 6 seed. As for the 49ers just lost to Seattle. So the Seattle Seahawks beat the 49ers, and that dropped San Francisco to the 7th seed. So after beating the Jets today earlier, we were initially the 7th seed, but wins by 49ers and Washington, those wins by those two pushed us out of the seeding. So Washington is becoming a big problem. They are becoming a big problem. They started the year 2-6. They've won the last 4 games, and now they are sitting at the number 6 seed. Washington is a big problem. Now, keep in mind, the Eagles, we still have yet to play Washington. We still have to play Washington twice. We still got 2 games against the Washington football team. And Washington, next week, they play against the Dallas Cowboys. So, and now a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this, but next week, a Cowboys win actually helps the Eagles. If the Cowboys beat Washington, that would really help the Eagles in this wild card race because that would drop Washington to 6-7, the same record as us. They would win the tiebreaker based on division record, but having them fall to 6-7, that would be a huge boost for us. Now, I'm not rooting for the Cowboys next week. There's one team I will never, ever root for, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care if it'll help us. It'll help us, but I'm not rooting for the Cowboys. I just can't. I can't. I'm an Eagles fan. I can never, ever root for Dallas Cowboys. So, Washington is a problem. If they lose next week, it's good for us, but I'm not rooting for Dallas. I will never do that. As for the 49ers, they play the Cincinnati Bengals next week. The Bengals just lost to the Chargers today at home. They started out trailing by a lot, but they rallied, but Los Angeles pulled away again. So I'm expecting the Bengals to beat the 49ers next week. So they will fall to 6-7 with a loss. So if the Washington and the Niners both lose next week, they'll both be 6-7. The Eagles aren't playing next week, so next week we'll be at 6-7 no matter what. So we'll have the same record as those two teams. The Niners, the thing about the Niners is that they have a tiebreaker over us because they beat us earlier in the year at Philly. At the Lincoln Financial Field, the 49ers came in and they beat us in that game, a game that we should have won, but it came down to bad red zone play calling by Nick Sirianni. Ooh, that 49ers game. The 49ers game and this Giants game last week, those are the losses that are going to haunt us. Those losses may haunt us. And in addition, this Chargers game a few weeks ago, too, that loss is going to hurt us, too. But as for the Eagles, it looks like we have our own destiny and our control. We control our destiny. That Detroit Lions win over the Vikings was very big for us. Congratulations to the Lions on winning their first game of the year. But it's really good for the Eagles to go into the bye week with a win, get these players healthy. Hurts is going to play the next game, and which I support, by the way. Even though I thought Minshew was good today, I support letting Hurts come back in and start the game because he's your quarterback. You spent a second-round pick on a guy after you paid Carson Wentz $128 million. Let him play. Let Jalen Hurts play. So it was a good day for the Birds. We are also one game away from Carson Wentz getting us that first-round pick, that conditional first-round pick from the Indianapolis Colts. We should get it next week. Go Birds.